Right then, here it is. I'm just going to hack away at the sellotape or the parcel tape with these scissors. It does have the original box apparently, but because the original box was a bit battered, it wasn't suitable to post the item in, so I think the seller has put the original box inside here. Yes, I can see it. Oh, and there's some foam to protect it. Obviously the polystyrene insert that would have been inside the box originally has gone somewhere. But let us hope that this foam and everything else has kept this Hoover shampoo polisher. Ooh. Oh, it's a bit like memory foam, this. Yes, it is. I think that's memory foam. I can stick my finger in and the hole disappears. Right, oh, here we go. This Hoover shampoo polisher was made in France. And I assume it was made in the factory in Dijon, who are also famous for their mustard. So here it is. I used to have this model. In fact, I had it twice. I had this model originally, I had the original brown and cream version. Well, that wasn't original, it came in other colours, but the first version I had in the early 80s, mid-80s, was the brown and cream. This was the last variant to be produced. I think it ran well into the 90s, the shampoo polisher. This is the white version, which I think is the smartest. So there's nothing to see, just a line drawing of the picture of the machine. Okay, looking at it, yes, it does appear unused. It is a little bit dusty and dirty, but what I'm worried about is the screws will be missing that attach the handle together, but hopefully the seller will have done something with those. Oh, that's fine. The seller has put the handle screw here, you see. So this is the top. Let me just adjust my viewfinder because everything's upside down and it makes me point things in the wrong direction. So here's a hand grip, very traditional style. They use this hand grip on many Hoover cleaners, but there isn't the Hoover roundel that you used to get. So there's the hand grip. Here's the trigger that releases either the shampoo or the scrubbing solution, depending on what you're using the machine for. And this little black Hoover logo there, Hoover roundel, that forms the top of the detergent tank. So that's okay so far. It definitely looks new. It's not been assembled, I can tell, because there's no paint coming off the handle here. Normally happens when you assemble things. So that's the handle. Next out of the box, careful, careful. That seems okay. Again, just a little bit dusty. A little bit of hot soapy water will sort that out. Here is the detergent tank. There's a fill line here. Now it is a little, you can sort of see through this. It looks white, but when there's liquid in, you can see the liquid. But you'd think if they continued with this model, they would have done maybe a completely clear tank would have been better, like you get with carpet washers nowadays. But anyway, the fill line is here. Here's the stopper. So in goes your shampoo or scrubbing solution, and then you pop, oh, the first little bit of damage, but it's not major. I expect that is still a part you can buy, hopefully. But it's, well, that's just come off. So that's, can you see there, look, it's a little bit damaged, but it'll still do its job. And with any luck, as I say, for a couple of pounds I might still be able to get that. Unfortunately, most of the brushes and pads seem obsolete now. This little metal piece here, that goes up and down, that is controlled by the trigger, and when that's lifted up, it opens up. Can we see there? Can you see it winking at you? Is it in focus? That, when you release the trigger, opens up that valve and releases the solution down to the brushes. So that seems okay. Right, okay do, that's it. Now then, what else have we got inside? Well, we've got the instructions and the guarantee doobry thing, you know what I mean, that thing. And here is the Hoover service plan. To extend your guarantee, For an optional 2-year cover, probably would cost the same as a vacuum. Does it give the price? Oh, it's £31. Anyway, these are pretty reliable, I found. They don't get used as much as a vacuum. Here's the instructions, and that looks like it's showing, obviously it's black and white, but it looks like it's showing the brown and cream version. It's got 1994 actually on the back of the instruction book. I don't really need to look at this myself because I'm very aware of this vacuum. Well, it's not a vacuum, this floor polisher shampoo thingy-majig. Anyway, there's just details of how to put the machine together. Attaching all the various brushes and pads and assembly. So that looks a little bit worse to wear, but I'm sure in my collection of leaflets and instruction books I do have a better one than that. So there we go, that's 94. Here is, let's hope everything's in here. Well, it looks so far, but I'm hoping both of these are in, because if one of those is missing, I'm scuppered. Oh no, there's more than one. In fact, there's probably 4. Right, let me just pop those down and I'll show you the brushes. These are the brushes that you use for shampooing. So they're quite soft, and if you look there, there's a lot of holes. So basically, when you release the detergent, the shampoo fills these chambers and it actually comes out of the holes. And then the brushes, the counter-rotating brushes, you'll see all this in action in the demos I'm going to be doing. The counter-rotating brushes agitate the shampoo into the carpet, causing a foam. Now this uses a completely different system to the carpet washers we used to nowadays. This is what I believe the cleaning professionals call an encapsulation method. And I suppose the Sebo Duo powder is an encapsulation method. Basically, very big words I know, but basically it means the detergent or the solution encapsulates the dirt. It surrounds the dirt, traps the dirt, and as it dries to a crystal or a powder, and then you vacuum it off. And so you vacuum the crystallized solution with the dirt. That's the theory of how these machines work. So it doesn't extract, it just puts detergent down and agitates it. Wait for it to dry, then you do the extracting with a vacuum. So there's a little bit of distortion, but a bit of hot water, a bit of a soak in some hot water will solve that. So there are the two, count them, shampoo brushes. Also, we have, these used to be made actually, the earlier versions. I have had some of the earlier shampoo polishers. These were used to be made of lamb's wool. Now, as a vegan, I wouldn't have approved of that, but these are completely synthetic now, so no animal, hopefully, has been harmed in the making of these. These are very, very soft, not really for floors. You can actually do, if you've got a big dining table, you can actually polish your table and things using these very soft pads. And it's a little bit awkward, but you can actually use them on your car. But it's a little bit of a heavy machine to use. In fact, if you look back at my old Hoover TV ads, some black and white ones, there is an advert for Hoover shampoo polisher, and Dad is using it on the car. It says at the end, Dad'll love it too. So Mother is scrubbing and polishing her floors, and then Dad gets to use the shampoo polisher to polish whatever car it was at the time. I don't know. But anyway, they are the very soft, and you can wash them. Polishing pads. Now these, a little bit different in colour. These are made of felt. These are, I've forgotten what these are. I think, are they for applying the polish? And I think the green ones might be. Let me just see. I'll tell you what Hoover actually say these are officially. It should tell me. Oh, come on. Thought it would have, oh, here we are. Illustration 6. B. Scrubbing and polishing. Oh no, that's not happening. Felt. Right, these are the felt polishing pads. They're used to produce a final high gloss on floor surfaces. They are reversible, folks. So that is the felt polishing pads. Now the green pads, which are basically the same sort of stuff you get those green washing up things, you know, for scrubbing your pans. It's basically that sort of material. Now I believe these are for applying polish. Let's see, I've lost my illustration again, folks. D. Oh, these are waxing / cleaning pads. Use dampened with scrubbing solution when cleaning and with a liquid polish when polishing. Also useful for dealing with stubborn spots such as black heel marks. So yes, you can use these as a scrubbing aid to clean the floor using like a floor cleaning solution diluted. Of course, and then it says you can use it with polish, but you never put polish into the tank. The polish you put onto the floor, squirt it onto the floor, then you use the shampoo polisher to actually evenly distribute the polish in. And then finally you'd use the felt buffing pads to give your parquet floors that deep gloss, high shine that's the envy of all your neighbours. With this cheap laminate we have nowadays, well, we don't really have the call for it, do we? But anyway, I'll be using this on my cushion vinyl floor. It might ruin it, but it's due for replacement, so if it does, I'm not going to lose any sleep. So, right, you've seen all the bits and bobs. Let's have a look. Ooh, well, it's well packed. It's been well packed in the memory foam. So we can pop that box to one side. It's very light. Ooh, ecky thump. Oh, well, that's odd. I've got an odd number. These little locking ring dooblies, I don't know what they're called. Let's have a look. Come on, you need to know the proper name for these. You can't say doobly, can you? The De Hoover Illustrated. What are they? Shampoo, blah blah. Insert fitment. Oh, Hoover call these plastic fitments. Okay. So I expect there would have been 4 originally, but one's gone missing. I'm not bothered because you only need 2. I think these are still available on Spares websites. They're not cheap though. So they are used for attaching the thinner pads to the scrubbing brushes, which are located, they've actually left them on. These are the scrubbers. They're very stiff, very dense brushes. Now I won't be using this sort of brush on my cushion vinyl, but this sort of brush is ideal on like stone floor or ceramic floors, you know, any hard wearing floor surface. You can really get a good scrubbing action going. With a bit of warm water and your cleaning solution, you can really scrub the dirt out of your floors. I'll show you what I mean by the little pads. All the small pads fit onto here. So you'd position the pad onto the scrubbing brush and then you'd pop the fitment into the middle until it clicks. There we go. And of course you'd repeat the same. It's a little bit creased. There we go. So you'd use that to sort of give your floors a good scrubbing as well if you don't want to just use those. So that's how they fit on. And they just pull off. Oh, I really want to use this, but these, I haven't been able to find any. I think the scrubbing brushes are available, but they last ages. These do wear out, as do the felt polishing pads, especially I do want to polish my floor. You have to clean them with some special stuff, I think. But anyway, I'll check my polish instructions. So here is, I'll pull them off. They just pull off the brushes. It's definitely not used, this, I can tell. It's just a little bit dusty. Here's the underside. My camera is focusing on these. It thinks they're eyes, but no, they're not eyes. Again, it's dusty. Oh, have we got a little date doobly? It's like a grid on this one instead of the regular date wheel. See, there's a grid there. I can't quite make out what that says, but anyway, it's from the 90s, I expect. Just here, you see 2 holes. Oops, lower it down. 2 holes. That's where the shampoo or floor cleaning detergent comes out of and onto the brushes. So of course they're the 2 sort of sprockets. 2 wheels at the back. You don't actually use the wheels when you're using the machine because it keeps, you know, it just stays on its brush. The brushes, it helps move along with the momentum of the rotary action. These are just when you need to transfer the machine. You tip the machine back and wheel it to the area using the wheels. Here we have the rating sticker. There we go. I can't read that. It's all back to front and gobbledygook for me. It's a Hoover model F402501, serial number 376-34722, made in EC. That might be, actually, I'm saying France, but possibly the later models were made in Cambuslang, Scotland. It's double insulated, which is a square within a square. This is the foot release and the on-off switch, so you press that. It's quite a slim, very, very slim little foot release, isn't it? But it is actually metal under there, under that sort of rubber grip. So you press that to release the handle to the operating position, and that in turn switches the motor on. There's a little micro switch somewhere under the hood. So when it's in this position, it activates the motor, and then when you put it upright, it turns it off. This basically under the hood, the design, apart from being updated slightly, it doesn't differ in its functioning to the sort of ones you got in the 60s, 50s. Just different materials used, really. This pipe, that's the pipe that takes the solution down through here and onto the brushes. You've got a little bit of an inadequate lower cord hook there, and the seller has, I'm going to have to cut that. Where are my scissors? Don't watch Brian, I'm going to use my scissors. I think I'll be okay. Try not to cut into the wire. There we go. Oh, sprung free. There we go. So we've got the cord sort of strain release thingy majig. That needs to go on halfway up the handle. And we've got the fitted plug. Just a pretty boring looking plug there, look. It's the black one. With a fuse inside. It's possibly not, oh, it says 3 amp. It's a 3 amp because it's only, I didn't tell you the wattage, 160 watts. So it's not, doesn't need a high wattage like a vacuum, it just has 160 watt to power the brushes. Then we say Hoover Shampoo Polisher. So I'm happy that this is new and unused. I wonder why, you know, we wonder why these things turn up. I believe the seller said they found it in her nan's loft, so perhaps Nan was given it and she never used it and was too polite to say, I don't want this. I'm not too polite. If somebody gets me something, well, no, I wouldn't say it to everyone, but people close to me, if they get me something completely inappropriate, I say, what have you got me that for? You know I don't want that. Just buy me, you know, you'd think some people, they'd know me. Buy me a vacuum cleaner, for goodness sake. Oh, you sell them or you won't keep it. That's the normal thing, but I want it, you know. Anyway. It's always that's all I want. That's all I spend my money on is vacuums and floor care stuff. I mean, I'm not a junkie. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not really interested in clothes. So, you know, what else am I going to spend my money on? Gives me pleasure, and that's all that matters. And I know it gives a lot of you pleasure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. You'd have switched off after about 30 seconds by now if you weren't interested. What I'm going to do though is assemble this bad boy, and I'll turn it on, but I can possibly give you a little demo with these brushes, but I won't do the full demonstrations until later on. But this is going to be more than one demo because it has a lot of functions. So I'll do one video of it shampooing carpets, I'll do one video of it giving the floors a good scrubbing, and then I'll do a final video of it polishing a floor. So there'll be 3 shorter videos, probably released all in 1 week for this particular. Oh, it's lovely. I'm looking at it in my viewfinder. I'm so glad to have one of these again. Why did I get rid of all the other ones? I'm not getting rid of this one now. Now I've got it, especially one. I mean, these pop up quite often on eBay. If you look now, there's probably several. And they do pop up brand new as well. But anyway, well, here's the big bumper, because when it's going it does sort of knock into things if you're not careful, but that big bumper protects the cleaner and your furniture. Okay, let's assemble the handle. Okie dokie, all I need to assemble this shampoo polisher is this 10p piece. You can use a 5p possibly, or a 2p, or even a 20p, but a 1p piece is probably not big enough. The ideal size is a 10p piece, or in America that might be your dime. It's a long time since I've been to America, a long time, and I can't remember. I've got a few American coins somewhere, and I think a dollar bill. So that's all I need. So I've taken out lovely rust-free, whoop, there we go, bolt and screw. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the cord strain relief thingamajiggy and pop the bolt into there first. There, can you see? And then I'm going to put the handle in, making sure it's the correct way, with a trigger at the back. So it's probably never been assembled, this. So on it goes, gently, gently, and line up the holes. Let me see if I can see through. There we go. I've lined up. There's a hole here. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera. So what I need to do now is pop the bolt through the hole. Might have to do a bit more jiggling about. Let's turn it this way. It's very difficult to try and do it myself while showing you. There we go, that's it. So there you can see it's poked through, and then on goes the nut. Or is it the bolt? No, that's the nut. That's the nut, and I bet all of you are screaming, no, the nut's the one talking. Oops. Well, yes, maybe I'm a little bit eccentric, but well, I've reached an age now where I don't care. I know what I like. By my age, I know what I like. So, oops. Yes, the 10p piece. It's a little bit stiff. I'm actually I'll just pause because it's too stiff. I don't want to be cross-threading this. So, just take it as read that I've screwed that in all the way into the handle without over tightening it, of course. Well, that's the handle assembled, and I'm not sure if I pointed out that the handle is metal, so it's a good solid feel to it. One thing they've changed with the later shampoo polishers, either a cost cutting exercise and to make the machine a bit lighter, is this used to be all metal under here. I'm sure I've had metal ones. In fact, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, but I'm pretty sure the cream and brown version that was available, certainly in the 80s, was metal. I do remember it being metal, I'm pretty sure. So this latest variant, the last variant, I think, in fact, no, I tell a lie. I'm not sure if the last one was a sort of a beigey colour. They did another one. Anyway, I think, no, I do think this possibly was the first. Yes, I'm pretty sure. I do have a sort of mid-90s brochure. This is in it, in this colour. So this is the last colour that Hoover produced. Oh, Hoover. Such a shame. Now, there we go. So that's the handle in. Now I need to pop the tank. So I just have to sort of locate it. Locate it here first. Just I tilt it, you see. And then I push it back until it sort of clicks. There we go. And then this bit here moves up and down, and that comes up so you can release the detergent tank. So when we're using the machine, we need that to be pushed down there, flush with the tank. And then there's this locking ring, which is just out of shot. I'm sorry about that, but it's just here. You'll see it in a minute. I pull that down and then turn it. That'll do. I don't want to force it. Turn it, and then that locks that neatly in position. So there we go, fully assembled. I will now, for your amusement, I'll just pop on the brushes, the shampooing brushes, and we'll just, hopefully, everything's okay so far, apart from it just being dusty. I do apologise for the state of it. It will be nice and polished up and clean when you see it next. Right, that's the shampoo brushes. I'm just going to give you a very brief going over sort of thing, just to show you the action of the machine. But stay tuned, the full demo with real shampoo and real scrubbing solution will be uploaded on my channel at a later date. Okay, so here it is. Let's just hopefully, everything's fine so far, hopefully it'll work. So let's give it a go. Yep, everything seems okay with the Hoover shampoo polisher. There it is. So, there we go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and you'll be updated when I upload all the demonstration videos for this vintage-ish Hoover shampoo polisher. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to. I also have a Facebook page. There's a link below if you want to check me out on Facebook. It's called iBasiac. And there's plenty of exclusive content on there, old photos, old brochures, odd bits and pieces, all about vacuum cleaners and other floor care products, and you can connect with other people who like this sort of thing. Because I'm sure if you've stuck to this stage, I don't know how many minutes I've waffled on for, but if you're here now listening to this, you must be a big fan. I don't know. Thanks for watching. I'll be back very soon with lots more new videos, news, views and reviews on my channel iBasiac. Until the next time, I'll see you later.